So how do you start the easiest garden bed in the world? I had a viewer send me a question about using sawdust for mulch. I'm going to show you the easiest way to start a garden, bar none. Now, if you've been watching my story, you know I've transitioned from tilling to this deep mulch. And I've also discovered if you want to make a small change, change the way you do things. If you want to make a big change, change the way you see things. I changed the way I see things about sawdust and a mulch. But what if you don't have any mulch? What if you don't have any leaves? What if you don't have any grass, hay, straw? I know you have some kitchen scraps. You can always start making a little bit of compost to put out in your garden. But if you don't have the big organics, what do? Well, our farm store carries animal bedding, and this is wood chips. It's sawdust. Very convenient. They come in bags. Some of them come in round bags, but you can pick them up almost anywhere, and they're pretty inexpensive. Come on, let's take a look. Now, even traditional gardeners say don't put down sawdust. So I thought I'd just put some sawdust down right along this edge, and it would keep the weeds down. Well, look at this. Grass growing right on up through there. So evidently, it's not really bad for plants. And I got this about 2 inches. So I think you really do have to put it down 4 or 5 inches thick. So how do you start the easiest garden bed in the world? Just like this. Just open it up. Dump it out. Now you could put cardboard underneath. I don't. You could mix leaves in it. Now I'm gonna do that, because you don't have to. The beauty about doing wood chips, or sawdust as it were, it lasts a long time. The only real negative comment I got about using sawdust, I went ahead and did some studying on this, is it binds up nitrogen. But that's if you till it in. But all of the mulches will bind up nitrogen if you till it in. So using it as an organic on the surface for weed control, to help feed the life in the soil. Now the one caveat I'd say is I wouldn't use black walnut fresh sawdust if you're going to put them around your plants. I think you'd be just fine if you want to use it for paths, but it does have a plant inhibitor in it. You can get a small bale of sawdust at almost any feed store. You can actually build a cold frame. We've done that before and been very successful. Now the only problem I found using these as a cold frame is you got to butt them together really tight. And then you got to make sure that none of that cold air leaks in. You see what I'm talking about right here with the straw bales? These come together really well, and they keep the air from going into that cold frame. That's the whole point behind the cold frame. You're going to have some ice on top. You're going to have the weather. As long as that cold air can't seep in through the sides, you're going to be good to go. So this is one good option. But if you're going to put sawdust down on your garden, make sure you put it down at least 4 inches thick or thicker if you want to use it for weed control also. The whole point about putting organics on your soil, not only is it a great weed suppressor, it feeds the life in the soil, and the life in the soil is what feeds your plants. And I think you can dress that around any of your vegetable plants, and there will be no weed seeds in it if you're worried about that at all. Feeds those nutrients, keeps the ground protected, and then in the spring, you just pull that down to soil and you plant like normal. And this is a good 6 inches thick right here. This is all you got to do. It really is just that simple. And if you do that, you plant squash in the spring, you're going to be eating crookneck squash like that. That's some fuzzy rooted leeks. We planted these this spring from seed, and we went ahead and transplanted them over here. Now it's time to harvest. You can do this too. Our days are short. We still have plenty of sun to grow things. But that's only going to last for a little while. Remember, December 21st, the days start getting longer, and that's right around the corner. And get that mulch down now, protect that life in the soil, and you're going to be planting before you know it. If you'd like to know more about the life in the soil food web, click that series right there, and I'll meet you back here in the garden. Then you're gonna be eating out of the garden just like we are. You can do this too. And until next time, remember, take care of yourself, take care of your family, and God bless you. Come on, let's plant.
Let's go plant garden.